In her interview and in the way she uses art and creativity to get to learners. So I think she's going to be a great addition to our team, and she's got a personality that is exciting to be around in the short time that I've had to spend with her already. So I highly encourage you all to approve her as our new art teacher for K-7.
And this is K-7, right?
Mrs. Heidemann comes down and does 8th grade.
Okay,
Yeah.
It said K-8 on the
Yeah, I
agenda, and
noticed
I
that
just thought
too.
it was
Yep.
She has a K-12 license,
Okay.
so really, she gets an art teaching contract for the school district, and it does say K-7 here, it could just say art teachers,
Okay.
license and stuff. So they're only, you get a K-12 license.
Any other questions?
Did this move the budget in?
No, actually,
Usually
very
pretty-
similar. We actually saved a little because as far as the stipends go, our prior teacher was the one of two people who was national board certified. So she does have the salary, it's prorated temporary for the school year, so you can see what her full salary would be, plus a master stipend. So both of those are included with the approval.
Yeah, I wasn't aware that she had resigned.
So she made the move, looking for just personal reasons, had a very positive experience here in Mayville. Actually said that she's pumped about the direction of the school district and where things are at. This is a personal decision. And so we're very supportive of her. There is a penalty that went along with the position that has already been addressed, taken care of. So.
Anything else? If not, you get to vote first. Aye.
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 Pass 5-0-2. Resolution 62, co-curricular volunteer coaching contract. Erica Winningham for cross country. Motion's in order.
No.
Everybody's bachelor.
Second.
Okay.
That's what it is. So we have a volunteer for cross country. The
Yep.
numbers required it.
Correct. And Erica has helped out, I think this is probably her 3rd or 4th year.
So we love our volunteers. We appreciate them. Really what it comes down to, the formal recognition coming to the board and being approved is what it's about. So you know. So acknowledging their time.
Any other questions on it? If not, Jim?
Aye.
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 Pass 5-0-2. Okay, resolution 63, transportation contract of parental. Motion's in order.
So moved.
Joe.
I'll second.
Okay? I'd like to speak to it.
Okay.
So this is our second year for initiating this parent contract for transportation. The transportation is to school in Janesville. That is the best that provide the level of services that the student needs. So right now we have a agreement. It's $37.50 per round trip from Mayville to Waupun, and then from there they also have students that go to this particular school that's down in Janesville, and that if they are not using that, it's $75 for the round trip. So no attendance equals no payment for the day. We are legally obligated to provide the transportation. We could have a situation like this, which is a great relationship with the parents and the partnership with Waupun to try to save costs, or we could be providing a van transportation and a significant cost to us. So while you see $75 per round trip, you gotta take into account it's Janesville. They're using their own vehicle, so
That's
we're
3
thankful
hours.
for this.
Do they need to do that trip to Janesville themselves very often?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
good.
At times they do, because they might have parent or family days down there where the child may leave from Mayville and go down, and then the family is down at school for a day or two. There might be also school-wide events that aren't conducive to the Sunday, Friday transport. So it doesn't happen a lot.
So right now, it's actually take down Sunday night and come back Friday afternoon. And sometimes they do have to come back in between.
Any other questions? If not, Joe?
Aye.
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 5-0-2. Okay, resolution 64. Preliminary budget.
No,
I didn't see
skip
it.
that one.
Okay. 66.
So it's easier for us to not have the item, to keep the item on the agenda and not cover it based upon the way the resolutions are set up. So we could just ignore it, but it's easy to actually skip it.
Okay, resolution 66, co-curricular activity contracts. Motion's in order. So move. Joe. You'd be out of here a half hour sooner. you-
Second.
Okay, we got a second? All right, so there's 2 links in the agenda. I'm actually gonna go to the compensation model one, the second one, just to give you just a little bit of a background. So right now, there's a base that was determined, $34,505 from 2010-11. That base has not changed. What has changed sometimes is based upon the amount of time a position requires, the percentage in this piece. So it goes from 1 to 3 years, 4 to 7 years, and 8+. So there's kind of been a tradition that some of these have actually volunteered their time the first year. It's kind of been a little bit of it's an informal expectation. So there's some changes in the document and I highlighted them with some new names. And you'll look at their years of service that are directly related to what's happening on this. So the pink actually reflects where staff are at. So you can look, and we have a lot of new people, don't we? When it comes to, if you just kind of look at the colors. The left column shows that we have many new people when it comes to the co-curricular positions in the district. We had talked about I've actually been part of an environment where you had to resign the year before that you're gonna actually be done. So you had to give your notice in advance. You had to give your notice like 3 times kind of thing.
In order to get out.
We'll get you to be the advisor, but by the way, it takes you 3 years to get out of it, just because it's difficult to fill positions. So I guess first I just wanted to show this is the actual compensation model we have in place. And what could happen is that this dollar amount right here, 34,505, that could be changed to 36,000, and the whole thing the numbers would change. You can see what would happen.
So they did keep track of the hours, or was it just the years of
This is-
experience? Because some of them, I know reading through, there was 18% increase. My computer just started.
18, where did you get that from?
I thought there was one in there.
18% increase?
Yeah.
So,
There was 7.
So they're very staggered, so like 6, 7, 8, 1, 1.52. If there's an 18%, that would be a typo.
I thought I looked through them today.
So like that 9 to 11 to 13,
Okay.
you call me on that. There's no 18%.
Okay.
But take my breath away on that one. There could be, if there's something like that, it would be a typo. So I did vet out the numbers again one more time. So I'm gonna go to the actual piece here that says co-curricular contract for the stipends. And I'll call out the kind of changes that have occurred. So all of these, the years of service are noted, and if they moved, it's reflected on the next column there. So 1 to 3 is all in the very beginning stage of that document. So John Dobratz has taken over the middle school choir. I got great feedback. Numbers are large for that, and our goal was by having John come and do the middle school choir to help to grow the program. You know, John is the program for course at the high school, so it's great to have them exposed to him, working with him. So that is the future of.
Here's where the high percentages were.
So, okay. So, in academic goal, we're still looking for someone to fill there. Blood drive coordinator, that actually Lee is taking over the student council and his role. The volunteering is time to do that. But the blood drive is something that's been a big position, big responsibility. So that's been a kind of a pulled out piece that Miss Gates is going to continue to lead. So while I have it highlighted as a new, it's been ongoing. So Lee took, there's savings to us. If that's her only responsibility, it is a big responsibility. So that's $690 for the year. This is the second year of a club called E-Gaming Advisory, donated time last year. This year it's a new program for high school. So included here is meaning you're approving that club itself. Lee, I think I'd like you to speak to that after I'm done for the e-gaming one.
Sure.
Okay. So then, Science Club, it's a new advisor there. Student Council, just calling out that Lee is taking over that. Sam Teeters has picked up the middle school yearbook advisor role. She's in that building still supporting the district through her special education administrative assistant role. So that's a nice fit there. Melissa Schneider is last year she donated her time for the middle school leadership group, very active. We have a lot of, actually they came and I think they spoke to the board. So that's a great group that started. And then Miss Emily over there looking for just a little bit of help with forensics based upon the fact that she's in 5th grade and forensics is not in 5th grade level. So this is what her solution was. So I said that is absolutely fine. So that additional cost to have staff that receive increases because of the compensation model, it ends up being $3,999. So there were new dollars added into the model. We did add one club for $680, but there's also savings when we have people come in. That's a typo right there. Like Sam Peters, the yearbook advisor, it's not 5 years experience, it's 1, but it's an NA. It's a flat rate that one's been paid in the past. So Lee, could you speak to the e-gaming piece?
Sure. Last year, Matt Schultz began informally an e-gaming club. And it's exactly what it is, where students compete. They may create apps. It's more the competition level. There is a statewide program with this. It will follow certain grade point equivalences. For example, you have to have good enough grades to participate in the tournaments and things. Where we decided to equate that to was the something similar to the art club, because they'll have monthly after-school evening meetings, and then we're calculating there's probably 3 large events that we will participate in, probably 1 that we host and 2 that we branch out to other areas. So last year Matt kept track of his time, knowing what we want to see out of it. This year we thought that was a fair amount to bring in. Now, to quickly speak, the student council one, we've got multiple groups at the high school that visions and missions of these groups are starting to cross. For example, our Interact group, Interact is leadership and service. Student council is leadership and service. NHS is leadership and service. So what we decided to do is our goal this year of the student council is really turn it back to more of a student voice and student government. And what we're finding is we have duplicate kids in a lot of these. So what they might be doing is a student council meeting can be held Tuesday, and 50% of the kids that you saw on Tuesday are back on Wednesday for the other activity club. So what we thought we would do is Brianna was more than willing to continue blood drive, and she's done a wonderful job with that. And what we're going to do is try to retool the student council this year to be more student government, student voice, while still allowing the leadership and service to exist in the other areas. So
I actually, did you bring that up? That is my biggest problem with this is simply, why are we paying somebody for blood drive? I understand the time involved. I personally have a personal problem with that because the blood drive is about giving to society. It's about making society better. I don't know if we could have a student completely take that over in my mind, I envision that almost. I have a hard time personally, for that I would vote no to this.
Sure.
Just because of that, because it goes against what I consider goodwill.
And the
to
reason
community.
and I know not that you're looking for a justification, Joe, but that used to be a portion of the student council.
Sure.
And it is a time thing. It's also, we did not want it to lose it this year because it ends up probably creating, I think, about $1,000 or $1,200 in scholarships for the kids that participate.
I would rather
Student
see a
leader,
teacher
so-
do that and another thing, and it's just, I have a hard time looking at that as opinions.
Here's my 2 cents. I think you still call that student council then, because it's going to be the same group of students that can be working on that. I would say you could just do it in partnership versus coughing it up, because we really want her to do it, is the deal. And she's been the student council advisor.
Oh, and I
So I think what you do is
absolutely
you break the
want her to
student
do it, but
council.
I would rather say, or pay somewhere else. But to me, when I envision, okay, these stipends and stuff like that are great and wonderful, I got it, and why we're doing it, it's the teachers putting in time. I have a problem paying extra just for a blood drive coordinator because of what I think it is and how it is and how I've seen it, how soldiers have done so much for this, just out of the kindness of their hearts. When we're giving blood and we're doing those things, we've never got paid more. I have a problem with that personally, so.
Well, let's call it like co-student council advisor. Sure. And then we can work out the details with her.
I would be happy if we,
Yeah,
matter of
let's
fact,
check
I'd
on the
like
time.
to see that.
How much
I
time
just
there-
have a
There is a
problem.
lot of time put into it. 'cause
I know that there's time, I just have problems
Okay,
paying it.
got it. We'll make that change.
Right. And I know it takes an advisor this year for the FFA steak fry. The kids forgot to call the alumni. There was nobody there to fry the steak.
So who came in and fried steaks?
So,
Mr. Westfall?
you know, they got a hold of me. I was in the state of
Mr.
Washington.
Westfall?
I usually do the frying, and I told them I'm not gonna be there.
Yeah,
But they, you can't just assume things.
right?
Yeah.
So, okay, any other questions on it?
Talking about acronyms, what's FBLA advisor?
So that's the Future Business Leaders, so that's that was a new organization
Yeah.
last year. And they had, we used the word term, wild success. They've been very successful. We had kids travel at a national level and do well, so.
We don't have DECA anymore, right?
No, this is.
That took the place, right? Here's where it seems 13%. I knew it was someplace.
One thing I always wondered is like, what oversight is there for these advisors? So say, like, I volunteer, I'm going to be I'm just gonna say e-gaming, just to pick one, to make sure that the person is actually doing something instead of like, yes, I'm the advisor.
Right, so if they don't have meetings, they're not gonna, you don't have happy kids.
Right,
You
absolutely.
don't have activities. Most of these are actual.
Many of these are
Right.
things that have been going on for a very
Right.
long time anyway.
So for that's why they volunteer in advance, so that we actually see that the club is successful, that students are participating, and that it's gonna stick. So, and then the percentage or the weight that it gets allotted is based upon friends in this space. So that e-gaming club itself, we believe has about the same amount of time as like the mock trial group
Okay.
does.
The times were recorded once upon a time,
Yeah, okay.
10 years ago. Because we had to do, to figure out for workman's comp, or, for taxing purposes. Not that they were a 30%.
Sure.
30 hours, and then you worked at this, and you became a 40-hour person.
Yeah, I've not had to go and actually monitor minutes for my clubs in the past. It's pretty much everybody knows what they do, and then the amount of activities, it's.
I know there's a lot of
Good
time
example.
involved.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
There for a while, there was no raise in pay whatsoever. Miss Mack, remember her?
Yeah, I do.
Anyhow, she had nothing to do with this, so it never got raised. If it never come to the board for a raise, nobody ever got a raise.
Sure.
So then they actually went through and did a time study. That's where a lot of these
People put it
original
on.
numbers come from.
So I think what's nice about the model is it does recognize you as a service. So.
That's a
Okay, any other questions?
Más preguntas para ti, por favor?
That's right, you got it.
You
Joel.
said that, well, hold on.
Oh,
You
you
said
still-
that we
okay,
were
still
gonna
going.
change that blood drive.
Yeah, we'll do student council advisor, co-student council advisor.
That's a lot of extracurricular groups.
Well, it does make sense after hearing what we talked about, because the Interact is extremely active. Like, there's a ton of volunteerism that comes through that, or volunteerism. So I could see overlap. We only have 387 students, so that is a lot of clubs, but it's, and also this is beyond high school. We do see that it goes through middle school. We've got a club adventure piece in there that has an expansion.
There was quite a few that added over a few last years. Okay, any other questions? If not, Joe?
Aye.
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 Pass. 5-0-2.
Good stuff.
Okay, whatever.
Now the most riveting one is at the end.
Okay, what do we got here? Resolution 77. Local education, leading special education policy, procedures, and sample forms. I have no idea what this is.
Right? So this is protocol. So DPI expects us to approve this on an annual basis. So we looked in, we didn't see it in the minutes last year, so we wanted to make sure we had it as soon as possible at the beginning of the school year. So I'll go ahead and Lee can speak to it too.
First we'll put it up as.
Yeah, right, I'm sorry, I should have waited. Motion.
I so move.
Hey,
I'll second.
there we go. Okay, now. Go ahead.
Okay, so there are laws that govern the special education world, and we also have policies that help to bring those laws to life, and then the procedures and how we're going to implement them. So, and then there's another document that are sample forms. So really, in the world of special education, it's very legal. So there's an IEP, individual education plan, that is a legally binding agreement that these are the services that we're gonna be providing. Believe it or not, it's not supposed to be more than that or less. It's supposed to be, this is what we agreed to. So if it's 45 minutes per week of OT services, we provide 45. We do not provide an hour and a half. So what's important, we are the LEA, so we are the local educational agency. So we are expected to adopt the policies for the state of Wisconsin. These are directly from the DPI as model policies and procedures. If we veer from those, it would not be recommended, right? So there's a lot of people put their time and energy into this. So we put a little bit of bling on it and said this is ours. To be fair, we have to adopt them. It is protocol. One of the reasons why is if we are in a legal situation, because this is legally binding, let's say, what are your policies and procedures? Are they in alignment with the state of Wisconsin? Yes, they are, right? So that's what's important for us. We use a software called Seeds to document all of our IEPs and to track it. I can't even tell you what the acronym is for. It's from a contracted service we get through CISA 6. CISA 6 is our overarching organization, and that is literally where most of these resources are going to be in. This is a handbook on the side, a guideline, but I would say our staff really work with a software called Seeds and put IEP information into that, and they use that to track it. So there's one document that are forms, model forms, and then the other is the model policies for us. We do have our local policies as well. So many, many, many pages.
Part of the paper reduction act.
Well, we don't, honestly, we don't print this up and have it everywhere. It'll be online resource for us.
Any other questions on it? Jenny, you get to go first.
Aye.
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 Aye. That's it for the resolutions. Where are we at here? Oh, no, there's another page.
No, we're done. That's what that made it to the second page. All set.
Looking good. Any other old business? Any additional citizens' comments out there? Got any left?
Many people are here.
Announcements?
One thing I wanted to comment on the last edition of the School Board magazine had a